Hey friends, welcome in. We'll begin in tabletop, flipping the right fingers towards the knee and rocking back and forth. Letting your breath slow as you become more acquainted with the joints, switching sides, more acquainted with how your body feels today. Let's tuck our toes, sit our hips back to the heels, and we're noticing the toes, the arches, the thighs, some forward, backwards movements, some side to side to wake it all up. We'll walk ourselves out into tabletop, but flip both sets of hands towards the knees. Finding our cat-cow breath, we'll exhale round the back, press forehead to the tailbone. Breathe in, roll open, front of body expands. Exhaling, inhaling. And exhale to neutral spine, neutral wrists, with toes untucked, sitting hips to heels, waking up this deeper quad stretch with some side to side rocks, before leaning back and forth, creating more intensity, maybe finding that same cat-cow movement through the spine. Be unique and creative. I encourage you to explore your movements today. When you arrive at your next inhale, reach the hands behind the back, interlace and stretch the arms long, lifting through the chest, keeping head where it's most comfortable. Maybe creating some soft side-to-side tilts, waking up the neck, the traps a bit more. Taking just another moment before we release the hands to the ground in front of us. Closer to the knees and tabletop, we place the top of the head down and begin to gently roll back and forth into our rabbit pose. You are in charge of how much pressure you receive in this next stretch. Let your hands assist you and support you. Let's begin to support ourselves back up into a tabletop. Tuck your toes, rising to down dog. Press those heels in one at a time to pedal your feet. Finding a deep stretch in the opposite hamstring. Arms remain long. Forehead and chest moving as a unit towards the shins. We press both heels down. We notice our breath. Maybe create little movements through the ankles, the toes. Make yourself feel good. Come down to hovering tabletop, knees float just above the ground before we lift back off into our down dog. Can you find a flow between the two movements? Letting the knees rest back to the mat, we untuck the toes, sit the hips to heels. Let the hands find the soles of the feet and roll up into your camel pose. Take it slow, keeping the tailbone tucked under, belly button pulled in. You're inhaling on your way up, finding openness, finding space. Exhaling on your way down, creating softness, creating a pause, a rest. Take one or two more movements, flowing or holding, up to you. Let's place the palms flat next to the knees. We find full extension through our arms, compressing the thighs towards the ribs as we lift the tailbone to sky. We rest through the tops of our feet, trying not to press too hard into them, but put more of the effort into the upper body and core. Let the legs almost dangle as you lift and release. Let's now rise up onto the shins, interlacing the hands behind the back, lifting the heart. Come down into bound rabbit, placing top of head, maybe pressing fists away from low back for more intensity. If you prefer, repeat with your hands down as we did before. Keep your breath flowing, your throat soft. Be aware. We'll release the hands and this time stack your elbows underneath the shoulders to arrive in a forearm tabletop. Then tucking our toes, we'll lift into Dolphin Pose, similar to down dog, but finding that forearm base. Send the tailbone up, the heels down, heart open. Maybe find some calf raises or other feel-good movements as the breath remains slow and your mind remains present. Let's rest into a child's pose. This time, if you'd like, reaching the hands behind you, palms up. Feel the belly pressing against the inner thighs with each breath. Expanding into the low back with each breath. Melting into your mat in this period of rest and stillness. Bringing ourselves into tabletop, we'll inhale, extend the left toes behind and over to the right. Gaze to the right, lengthening left side. Looking back in between the hands, inhale, roll left arm up to sky. Open hips as well, extending through fingers, extending through toes. Exhale, your left hand comes down, hips turn to ground. Point your right toes to the left, tuck your left knee behind, heels out, sit your glutes back in between them, cow face pose. Knees V forward as we grab the tops of feet and inhale, roll open. On your exhale, roll closed, using that pressure of hands to feet to create more depth in this spinal flow. On your next inhale, we'll reach the hands up, grasp the left elbow, create that square, and exhale, pull to the right. Feeling all of that left length through the tricep and side body. Exhale, let the arms fold over your cow face, legs, shifting all of that weight forward. On your next breath in, you can roll back up, reaching to sky. Place the right hand palm out behind the back. Let the left fingers reach down to create that behind the back clasp. If your hands don't reach one another just yet, this is a great opportunity for a strap. And we can add that same side bend to this hold. Let's release our hands down, sit back a little to uncross the legs and extend them in front, pressing heels out as we inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold over. Forehead down, tailbone back. Playing around with your ankle movement, your shoulder positioning. Slow the breath. Connect with it. On your next inhale, rolling up. Placing the palms, fingers facing in behind you. Step the feet a little closer and inhale to your reverse tabletop. Arms long, heart lifted. Head could tilt back or chin could stay tucked. Exhale, drop the hips down. Then moving through the posture once more. Transitioning into fire log pose, we'll stack our right shin on top of left in front if that's more cozy, and rest forward. Using this period of stillness to return to our breath, creating any adjustments to deepen this posture. On your next inhale, rising up using momentum to roll forward to the knees and uncross the ankles. Inhale, right toes behind, sweeping and looking to the left. Right side lengthens. Look between the hands, press through left. Inhale, right arm rolls open to sky. Hips roll open. We find our length. On your exhale, let that right hand return to the mat. Left toes point to the right side of mat. Tuck the right knee behind, heels out, hips sitting in between. Grab the tops of the feet. Inhale, roll the chest open. Exhale, round the back fold. Pull the feet as you make these movements. Let the breath create your pace. On your next inhale, reaching overhead, grabbing the right elbow this time, creating that square. Exhale, pulling it to the left, opening that left lat and side body. Exhale, release the hands down, fold over the knees, shift your weight forward. When you arrive at your next breath in, let's reach our hands back up to the sky. This time we'll take our left hand, palm out behind us, and let your right hand come down to connect the fingers and the palms. Maybe we return to grasping our elbow. If you'd like, you can exhale, tilt your body over to the left, reaching through that right elbow to create more side body engagement. Exhale, release the hands down, gently leaning back. Hands can support as we extend the heels straight in front. Breathe in, root through tailbone, reach through fingers. Breathe out, fold. You can find stillness or create unique movements that serve you here and now. Inhale, lifting ourselves tall, we'll place the palms face down behind us, fingers pointing in. Slide the glutes forward in front of the fingertips, and inhale, lift the hips, point the toes, reverse plank. And release slowly, maybe with the toe lift at the top. We repeat. Feeling that energy rooting through the palms, the heels lifting from the hips, the heart. Beautiful. Find another lift here, keeping integrity to your posture, keeping some focus to our breath. We'll release to the toes, rounding the back. Disengaging the neck a little more. Sitting up to stack our left shin over right and fold forward to fire log. If there's too much intensity on the knee, find easy pose with the leg stacked in front of instead of on top. Shift your weight forward, uncross the ankles, find your tabletop. Place the elbows under shoulders, interlace the fingers, placing the top of head in front of them. Tuck your toes, walking in closer to stack hips above the heart. Extend the right leg up to sky, keeping it straight, then taking little hops off the left foot to find this L shape from head to heels. After a few repetitions, switch to the other side, focusing more on the jump from your bottom foot than the swing from your top foot. Dropping back to the knees, inhale, roll open as you sit hips to heels, reach the fingers back. Exhale, reach to the knees, round the back. Give the spine a little rinse out. Return to your headstand position, creating that triangle shape from elbows to outsides of pinkies. Tuck the toes, walk the feet up. We're going to do a similar L shape position, reaching left leg up and then holding right leg when you lift. Now, if it takes you a couple hops to get in and stay here, that's okay. We're just aiming to hold that L shape for as long as we can, staying with our breath, realigning as needed, and then we're going to go right into the other side, trying to hold that L shape. Maybe you get the shakes like I do, that's okay. Create some movement. We're creating discipline by doing hard things for longer than we want to. Push through for just another moment and rest down into a child's pose. Untuck the toes, hips to heels. Arms could be forward or back. Knees could be narrow or wide as you stay attuned with your breath. Staying present in the moment. Let's come up for our last round, finding that headstand position. Tuck the toes, walk the feet in to stack the hips. Jumping and tucking both knees to chest to extend them straight up. As you inhale, slowly lower the straight legs to an L and exhale, bring them back up. The goal is finding steady, breath-led movement, legs up and down as you root through the forearms, the outsides of the pinkies, letting the toes drop on your next release, finding child's pose to settle into stillness and to return to a slow breath. Rising up, we'll sweep the legs in front of us and sit down to our glutes. Let both knees fall to the left as you keep the chest forward, and both knees fall to the right, space between shoulders and ears. Let's take them back over to the left, turning our chest that direction and folding over, elbows in front of left shin. Resting your weight, feeling the left glute open up a bit. Rising up, rainbowing knees to the right, hands in front of shin. Fold down to the forearms in front of shin. Relax the inner thighs and the glutes here. When you're ready, coming back up, letting the knees come through center. We'll step the feet a little closer together, arms inside of legs, cross in front of ankle, grabbing outside of foot and rolling back to happy baby. Play around with the lower body movements. Get yourself acquainted to this new posture under gravity. Letting yourself explore as the breath slows. We'll begin to roll forward and back, gaining some momentum to balance up on our glutes, lifting the heart when you do. Extend the left heel out, keeping hand connected to foot, switching to the opposite side. One more time each leg. Shoulders down, away from your ears as you balance. Let's return to our backs, beginning to extend the toes over our head into our plow pose with arms extended. And we're not in our deepest form quite yet. We're just getting those shoulders ready. Rolling ourselves to the glutes and extended the heels out into upright angle pose. If you want, you could hook onto the big toes instead of holding the feet. I tend to prefer that grip for this posture. Find that counterbalance of lifting the chest and pulling to feet. Bringing the heels back together. We'll roll onto our back, finding our plow pose once again. Walking a little bit more onto those shoulders, maybe feet connect with the earth. And we could interlace the hands behind our back. We could bend the knees down next to the ears. Your hands could even find the low back. Stay with your breath and be intuitive with where you choose to place your body. Finding any variation of your plow pose for another breath or so. Slowly rolling your back to meet the mat, placing the feet flat in front and stepping the soles together, letting the knees open out. Grab the elbows above your head, creating that square from earlier in our practice. We're transitioning to a more passive state here. Switch which arm is stacked on top overhead. Thank you all so much for joining today's practice. Namaste.